Welcome to Pocket Watch Podcast. I'm Zach
Cruz.
Let the beat ride. Not on my side. Oh my God. What's up, guys? It's Zach.
What up, guys? Thank you for tuning in another week. It's Pocket Watch Podcast. Again, if this is your first time listening, if you've been listening, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Come on, help us out.
Like, follow, share, subscribe. If you guys are just listening to us on the Spotify side and on everything else, stop what you're doing. Go over to the YouTube side. Go subscribe. Show us some love. Throw a comment or something. We try to pump up our YouTube.
We're trying to get it all in congruence, man. We got some goals on YouTube, and we're trying to hit them, and we're doing some different things to make that happen. But ultimately, if you don't make that happen, we can't make that happen.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's you. It's literally you. You're listening right now.
Show us the love. Show us the support.
Then it's not you. Sorry.
The big facts.
That's right. Quick episode today.
Yeah, it's gonna be a quick one. We just doubled up, but
quick episode because Zach pointed out a fault.
Yeah. So basically, I don't know if you guys have seen the podcast episodes like that where guys are basically trashing on girls, and I know that majority of our listeners are guys, so they might give me some pushback on this, but that's fine. But a lot of guys are like trashing girls because girls have like preferences of what type of man they want or whatever, you know,
like height, age,
income, stuff like that. So, I mean, I happened to scroll past a video. Mario, it's me, Mario. But I happened to scroll past a video on YouTube, on Facebook actually, and basically it was like one of those little long story short, it's like one of those social experiments where they have like a one girl group of guys blindfold. They talk about themselves. They have conversation. It's kind of like speed dating, and basically the girl chooses the guy that she finds the most attractive in terms of conversation and everything. It's kind of like Love is Blind. Like social media experiment. Anyway, so at the end of it, they sat across from each other. They took the blindfold off, and they went to go hug each other. And when they stood up, she found out that he was the same height as her. And the guy was 5'10", and she says she was 5'10", but she says she wears heels pretty much every single day, and that a guy has to be at least 6 foot because she don't want to be taller than the guy when she's wearing her heels daily. In the comment sections, man, the guys were going crazy, talking about like, oh, she automatically eliminated 98% of men. She's going to be single forever. Good luck to her. She's a piece of shit. And then some other people are like, oh, she's kind of chubby. Who is she to say that she wants a guy 6 foot and stuff like that? Anyway, so I hopped in there and I was like, statistically, you know, I Googled like, okay, how many guys are 6 foot or taller? And it said in the United States, it's 14.5%. Right.
Taller than
6 foot. 6 foot or taller.
Thank God.
14.5% of men.
What's the average height? Is it 5'9" or 5'8" or something?
It's 5'9".
5'9"?
Yeah, I looked it up during that time too. But anyway, so I just so happened to like post that, and then people are like, yeah, but once you include all their other criteria and blah blah blah. And she never even said in that whole clip, she never said what she wanted for income. She never said anything else about race. She never said anything. Only thing she said was the guy needed to be 6 foot at least. So I kind of just ran with that, and I plugged in some numbers, and I did from ages 18 through 40, just to do it, just so I can kind of like see like what exactly is happening, not pertaining to her specifically, but just to kind of see what the numbers look like. I did 18 through 40, and then I did I excluded married men, so only single men. And then I did 6 feet or taller and made 40K.
And this is like a calculator as to the percentage of these people in the world?
Yeah. Yeah. And basically the statistics are based off of like the census from like 2020.
Okay. From
when it said. So I inputted those numbers and it showed 3.5% a probability of meeting somebody. And then I was like, okay. And I was like, well, I'm just curious to see if I was to extend the age range a little bit, what would be the difference? So I did 18 to 50%. Left everything else exactly the same, and the probability dropped to 3.2%. And I understand like where they're pulling that probability. They're taking the amount of men in that group and dividing it by possibilities within that age group. But that probability.
That's my type of calculation.
That probability is kind of skewed whenever you look at it from that standpoint, because it doesn't show you like in the percentage of like people as a whole. It just shows in that group.
Yeah.
And so technically she doesn't have a 3.2% of meeting that guy. It's just 3.2% within that group of people. You get what I'm saying? But like meeting guys on a daily basis is different. You get what I'm saying? And so like, and the biggest factor that created those numbers was the fact that I put the 40,000 income. Once I did like 25 through 40, and I did the 40K, that immediately jumped up significantly, like 9% or something. And as soon as I did 18 through 40, I did 18 through 40, and then that was the weird thing, is I did 18 through 40 with any income, left to 6 foot, exclude married. But I just did any income, no minimum. It was like 11 point something percent. But as soon as I did, then I took the exact same thing, any income, 18 through 50, and it dropped to 9% again. But if I did 25 through 50, it increased. It was really weird. And like basically what we came out to was that like 18 to 25 usually make on average less than 40 grand a year. But even when I removed that factor, 18 through 50, it still lowered the number, which is weird. It doesn't make sense.
What was the other factors in there again?
So you can do age, height, married or not. You can do obese or overweight, which I left that blank. I didn't say anything like that. And then income, age, height, married, obesity, income. Those are the 5 criteria.
Yeah. There could definitely be a flaw in their calculator, but it also shows like statistics are bullshit a little bit sometimes too, right?
Yeah, it was really weird to me to see that, because it just seemed like, and this is coming from a guy that's fucking 5'5".
Right.
Like I've struggled with height obviously my whole fucking life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just think, I don't know, and I think the whole argument with guys that fucking get like their panties in a bunch over it is kind of ridiculous in my opinion. And this is coming from a guy who's dealt with that shit for his whole fucking life. I'm 4 inches below the average for how I stand.
And 4 inches above the average for how it sits.
Anywho, but yeah.
No, that's interesting. That is interesting. Statistics are bullshit though. I don't know. Like that's why it's like, yeah, there's probably definitely a glitch in like how they're calculating or whatever, but also like statistics itself could show a glitch. Like there's so many different factors that you're considering when you change one of them and how those percentages change. I don't know, but it was. I was also interested because when we did it ourselves, right, and we did our own little inputs.
Yeah. So there's actually there's a male version and there's a female version. So the female one obviously is like that's kind of the fucked up thing. They called it the delusional female calculator, the female delusional calculator, which that right there is kind of like already a biased name in my opinion.
You're gonna get a low ass percentage.
Yeah, I get it. It kind of already sounds biased, but I mean, I didn't take that into account.
There's some shit to that. Like we all like, if you're single, relationship, whatever you think you do like, or whatever you think you're looking for, even if you're in a relationship, and then you name like what your perfect significant other might look like or whatever, it does kind of let you know like the percentage of those out there.
But you know what though, it's really 2%. Even if let's say hypothetically 2%, that's not that crazy. That means for every 100 people, how many people are in a club? Yeah, at one given time.
2 people that match with you.
Per 100. How many people are in a club at a time? There's hundreds of people.
Yeah.
So that means statistically speaking, you probably have like 4 people plus in that club alone that can meet your criteria.
Yeah. That's not bad.
It's not horrible statistics. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know.
It's horrible when you add like every other factor though, like in a relationship, right? So like if there's 2 to 4% that meet that girl's criteria, but like of those type of people, you know,
they're in a relationship and not married.
50% are in a relationship. You know,
yeah, that's definitely a possibility. It's definitely a possibility. You know, what's funny is actually when I was looking this stuff up too, I found out something, and it was 58% of the Fortune 500 CEOs are 6 foot or taller.
50 what percent?
58% of the Fortune 500 companies are 6 feet or taller. That's interesting. That was an interesting statistic, and it also showed that men that are 4 inches taller than the average tend to make slightly higher income than everybody else.
That's fucked up.
That's like 4 inches, so that'd be like 6'1". But yeah. I thought that was really interesting. I thought that was a really interesting statistic.
Well, I think what that lends towards is like, I think people make money off their presence, right? Like what no matter what field it's in. If it's podcasting, our presence could give us views, make us money, whatever the case. But also like when you go into an interview, when you go into a meeting, when you go into something like that, your presence matters, man.
No, I agree.
That's that interpersonal factor that not everybody considers, but like there's some presence that nobody can control, right? Like a big motherfucker is a big motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like that's a presence you can't ignore.
Yeah. And a lot of girls in the comment sections were, their argument for it is that girls naturally want to have a man that is like protector and is like strong. And they were saying that they tend to find like taller guys tend to be like in their eyes more of like a protector. They can protect them better than like a shorter guy. And then some girls in the comments were saying like, and that only applies on a situational, because they said that like, oh, you know, I've dated a guy that was shorter, but he was a really dominant like man that was kind of like really big protector, you know, but he's a shorter guy.
It's kind of like the Napoleon, right? That Napoleon dynamic where it's like, because I'm short, I'm gonna let these motherfuckers know that I'm about my shit.
Yeah, I guess you can't be too much though, then, because
then you are the Napoleon dynamic.
But yeah, so they were saying like they just want to feel protected, and they just said that they naturally feel more protected from taller men. It's kind of like that's what the girls were saying in the comments. I don't know if every girl agrees with that or not, but
guys look for shorter girls too, just like girls look for taller.
And that's the thing, man. Is like a lot of guys out here stressing, man, and it's like there's shorter girls sometimes do not like taller guys because it's intimidating to them.
Like too tall.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like my girl has said before, like a guy that's like 6 foot and over, sometimes it's like almost too much because it's like
you're huge.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But it's like
no, she likes that. We know that.
But she's like intimidating, you know? And I can see that too being a thing. So it's like the shorter girls, I mean, even though there are outliers, shorter girls tend to go for guys that are more normal, average height or lower. So it's like, bro, stop stressing, man.
Yeah, it's not that serious. Just because that girl, I mean, tall girls should, just like, I don't know.
And we actually, to kind of dive into that, we actually on the flip side did an opposite of the topic. So there's actually like a female delusional one, and then the male one's not even called fucking male delusional. That's the fucked up part. That's the fucking.
What is it? Because we're not delusional. We know exactly what we want. This shit is super executable.
So the man was
Manimal.
Let me see. Let me see what it was called. I want to give you guys the exact name. So the female one is called Female Delusional Calculator. I got standards, bro. And then the other one's called Male Reality Calculator. I got dreams.
Damn.
That was the funny part. That's some fucked up shit. How
I got standards and then I got dreams.
But anyway, so we went through it.
We'll put the link. We could put the link for those, right?
Yeah, I can put them down in the description.
So check it out. Try to see how delusional you are if you're a girl, and then try to see, or no, the opposite. Let's see where your standards are if you're a girl, and let's see how delusional you are.
Yeah.
If you're a guy.
Yeah, so, and then me and Cruz went through and we put our information in.
What was some of the criteria? Because it's funny.
So it's the same thing. So this one's a little bit different just because you can also exclude mothers. So you can do exclude married, exclude mothers, age, race. That's another one. I don't know if I said that for the men. You can also choose race for men. Height, and then you can do minimum income for women, but women also have a maximum income option too. Because there are some men that don't want their woman making more money than them.
Yeah, so men have that option.
But yeah, so basically we went through.
Ain't that weird?
We went through it, and then Cruz was Cruz based off his stuff. Should I tell him what your choices were?
Yeah, do it.
So Cruz chose not married, and he chose any amount of children. He chose Hispanic and white woman.
Which means, wait, before let's do the nice one first. Like, I don't care if you got a kid. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like these days too. If you're dating,
well, you chose no kids.
Did I?
No, I mean you choose like you don't care if they have kids.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like these days, I think if you're dating in your mid-20s or over, like you gotta kind of eat that if you're single.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And then hold on, I'm trying to do mine because my shit got deleted. And then
Spanish and white girls, just because I know my type.
Yeah, you did Spanish and white, and then you did trying to pull it back up. Spanish and white. You did 4'11" and 5'9". You chose not overweight, and then you chose earning at least $40,000 per year.
What a dick!
And your odds were 4.72%.
Jeez, Louise.
So
4 out of 100 girls fit that criteria.
Yeah, so you have 4.72%. And the cool thing about the man one was actually showed you the total amount versus the female one didn't.
Are they the same company that does both estimators?
It might be. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But so he had roughly 1.27 million women in the United States meet your standards.
As a whole, that's nice.
Yeah. I think that's pretty good. You can walk into a club and pretty much have
4 girls meet that criteria.
4 to 5, yeah.
What that statistic doesn't take into account is I live in Orlando.
No, which you might have probably better odds.
Higher odds.
If it's just if you live in like the fucking Midwest and like fucking Missouri or some shit.
Yeah, you're not finding no Spanish girls.
There's no Spanish girls fucking not overweight or nothing like that. It's gonna be wrong.
What the fuck?
I'm just saying that's what your criteria was. You saw as not overweight, not Hispanic or white. You do go with white.
I like big girls. Don't get me wrong. Big girls need some lovins.
And then my probability, I guess I'll just go through mine too. So I chose not married. Any amount of children.
Who's picking married girls?
That's what I thought was weird. Like, why is that even an option?
I want to find somebody married.
Maybe they just maybe so you can kind of like see the difference of how many people are married. Maybe you can do your own statistics. I don't know. I chose obviously not married. Any amount of children, any race, between 4'9" and 5'2". I chose not overweight, even though I am overweight. It's okay. You guys can say it. And I chose any income. And I forgot to say, Cruz chose the age of 23 to 34.
Yeah.
I chose the age of 23 to 32. And mine was 5.26%. So I had more odds than you.
What was our difference again?
Height.
You had lower height.
And you did at least 40,000 a year.
And you put nothing?
I put no. I didn't really care. But my height range is only from 4'9" to 5'2". We're looking at 3'5". I only have 5 inches of range. So like mine's rough. Versus
join the club, brother.
Versus you have like 10 inches of range. You were slinging and banging over your way.
10 inches of range.
But yeah, so I have 5.26%, 1.18 million women. But I just thought it was interesting that people like we're trashing down on it and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's also I think it's interesting too. I like that they have a calculator out there because there's always that perception of like women do have unrealistic standards on men and stuff like that. And it's funny to hear that they have a calculator for the opposite, like how men have standards on women. And it's funny. It's also interesting to see like how the max and men, like the subtle changes for the men and the women calculator or whatever and what they're looking for. But that's a good exercise to do to see how unrealistic your standards are. Statistics are bullshit, but also it's
coming from the ballpark. Coming from the accountant, statistic of bullshit.
It's got to be in the ballpark.
Yeah,
it's got to be in the ballpark. So if you're looking at 5%, okay, cool. Say it's bullshit. Let's call it 8%, 9%. You know what I mean? So maybe there's like 2 or 3 people that are outliers that probably do fit what you like, but not just like perfectly in that statistic or whatever. But
it was funny though because I wanted to check and I turned off any children. I turned off like not a mother, and my shit cut in half. Immediately got cut in half. Yeah, bro. I left everything the same. I just put not mother.
Did you have Spanish in your?
I chose any race.
Oh,
yeah.
Good for you.
Chris said, "Good for you." I chose any race.
Nah,
even though I always tend to go for Spanish, but I chose any race.
It's interesting though. I don't know. Check it out. Check the shit down in the descriptions. Do a test. See what you like. See what your percentage is. Comment with the percentage that you got based off the results below, because we want to kind of see and get a feeling on how realistic or unrealistic these tests are and your expectations on the man or the woman. Yeah.
I don't know. I've always found it. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to get in trouble.
Say it. That's perfect.
I was going to say I always found it to be pretty easy to find women that fit like within my criteria. And like,
are they?
I require them to be super short because I'm fucking short myself.
Yeah.
And it's crazy talking about this. I've actually dated a girl that was over 6 foot before. But anyways.
Wow.
Yeah, in middle school. I don't know if you remember that or not. But yeah, I did. And anyway,
That's all middle school relationships. Girls are always taller and shit.
no, but over 6 foot, bro. Come on, she was tall.
She's still tall.
She's tall as fuck. Anywho, pocket watch out, guys.
Ow!